Morning, folks. It's 6:22 a.m. Tuesday, August 1st, 2017. 22 is the elders' number of coming together, harmony, understanding. Excuse me. It's about two things. It's about two or more things coming together. And then 6 is intuition. So it's about the coming together of your intuition. It's 70 degrees in the house. This new AC system's working great, but I'm boiling up. I had a visit of Deanna and I have had visits here in person, helping us out. And we were prompted a long time ago to get set up some video camcorders and stuff when we know we're going to get a visit, and it's to help. It's easy enough for them to mess with the video, but they're not here to give us a hard time. I'm going to go into pretty good depth on that in just a minute. On what used to be, what is now. And I'll explain how I've talked about that in other videos. It's all there. If Deanna and I had the time, which we do not, we could go through our videos and make a listing of, this is the video names that are related to this. Like Stuff in Space, CT, this is videos about this, and have categories. We don't have the time. Deanna will be directly involved with our friends in space. Paul's going to. Burju has been talking with, the real cool Sepoian she calls Shiny for a long time. She came to us and she said she'd like to have the name Serene. And that's with us, it's a personal thing. The Sapatian race, when they came to Dan and I together, they literally, the two of us working hard trying to figure out what the heck they're going out. We're trying to hear different syllables and everything. Folks, these are people that don't have human vocal cords. They don't make names and can't talk like us. They don't talk like us. They don't need to have to talk like us. We don't need to have to talk like them. But in order for there to be communication, there has to be work on both sides to meet somewhere where it's most easiest, where it's the best way possible, the easiest way possible to actually communicate. Isn't that what it's about? It's like the other side. You're waking up. Allows you to see and understand stuff on the other side. Those of you that have been following me a while, you already know. But the other people that are just coming in, plus all the ones that will, especially after I go, this is going on. Like I said, the next 100 years is going to be incredibly powerful. Creation itself, not just the earth, creation itself is going through huge change. And it's about to take off. Another couple of months or so, few months, I don't know exactly, and the other side, the one that does that, doesn't know exactly. There's something that has to happen first. There has to be a final harmony and set of rules put down, and that's going to happen soon. But anyway, it's like a board of people who don't know what they're doing, waiting for someone to come in that knows how to run the business to sit down and say, this is how it's going to be. And they know this thing, they know this, they trust him, it, and they know that it's selfless, wants nothing for itself. So there won't be a problem. And if there is, they also know that they'll be made non-existent real quick, erased. Anyway, that's enough of the tough stuff, okay? But that's what's going on. I've told you about how the Drachk came in. Now this is, I tell you stuff that's going on because I see it, I know it, I understand it. I talk with these people all the time. It'd be so nice if I could sit down and talk with them at a table having coffee, you know, and take pictures of it and say, look, nah, that makes something about me. Okay, this is going to happen in its right time and just fine. Now back to the Sapacient. Deanna and I were working so hard trying to get the syllables of the name. And then when we finally got the word together, Sapacient, and we were trying to see IEA and everything, and their race grew from the original Antids. It just evolved separately from them. And the Sapacient, the Antids have usually on this planet been called Antids. Why? Go back into the Hopi religion when the Earth was having some rough times. It would go through, it needed to be cleansed, and the original male and female, the original first beings, male and female, they needed to get rid of all the reptiles that were here on this planet. They had to do a cleansing. So there's more to it than that, but not much more. The main thing was getting rid of the reptiles. There were so many of them, they bred so quickly that they were just killing everything. So anyway, so with the Hopi religion, the Hopi times, prophecies, their history, everything, they talked about when there's one strong male being that came here and made a body and literally led a large amount of people to the Antids, to the tunnels. And he said to the Antids, you know, would you please take care of the people, take them down into the earth. It's time for the earth to change again. So they did, and they fed them and everything else. That's the Antids. That's the second oldest race in creation, in the physical dimension, third dimension. That's where they came from, but they prefer, instead of like the original Antids, they love to burrow into a planet and stay there and live there, okay? They were on the Gara, okay? So, the first race of beings in creation's history, physical beings, were the Drachk. And I've explained how I know about that firsthand, Lily and I. And then after that is the Antids. So, none of the things came out. The original human race, this type of body, excuse me, that came out a bit of a while later after that did. But anyway, getting away from the point. The Sapacient race, they don't want to burrow into a planet. They want to be out in space. Their home, where they like to, their nest is, it's like a nesting kind of thing, is in the Serpo area, around Serpo. And it wasn't until Deanna and I got the name, except for 2 different letters. And remember, she's from Spain. So she, they pronunciate stuff differently. So you might throw an extra letter here or take one out there. So this new race I'm going to tell you about, the ones that, the name that I'm given to talk about them. These are it's a race. There's some really cool people, but there's some real assholes in there. It's like the Enaugk. And I'll explain them in just a minute. The one you call the ancient Sumerians, that's who they really are. Sumerian gods. What a joke. And we're going to talk about a video that actually shows one of the craft and everything else, okay? And it's a DVD. I was pushed to go there for a long time, but I'm doing so much, and the other side those I'm working with over there, they know what I am and everything, and they expect more out of me than I can do in a physical body. I mean, it's... When you don't have to put up with being in a body and you're outside floating around, your normal self, it's easy to forget what it's like to be in one of these damn things. Little moth just took off. It's like, hey, how you doing? Calm down. Moth is like a fey butterfly. Anyway, so the Serpatians, they come from around Serpo. They like to be in space, okay, and they are like ants, the antids. That's what, and Deanna and I worked so hard to get the different pieces of that for so long, and then finally, there it is. Melee is the name. Deanna's really much better than I am at this too. We see the same thing together and then go from there. It's hard for me to tune into the exact name. I'm attached to everything everywhere. I don't know how to explain it, but I don't want to. It's kind of like I'm not a self-serving thing, but I have to say some stuff. People always ask me, how do you have this? How do you know this? It's like, including the FBI and Homeland Security. How do you do this? Stuff going to people's brains. We know you're real. How do you do it? You know. No, I don't want a job. Thank you. Anyway, so I told you about how the Drachk were coming over here. I think it was early 2017. I don't know. Michael, Dex, any of you all out there that if you want to do that, great, I'd appreciate it. Is that, you know, you've seen so many of my videos. If you can remember what some of them are for what category, I'd appreciate the help. I'll do something to say thanks, you know that. When I get out of my body, this is what I'm going to be worth the most to all of you. Right now I'm fighting to finish what I got to do, and body just keeps going downhill. After I get my video done, I pretty much shut down. Sometimes at the end of the video, after I've done it, just as soon as I'm getting ready to say goodbye, all of a sudden I just shut down. You can actually catch it at the very end of the frame, if you can catch the last 2 frames. When I run the video pieces, put it together, that fat 32 system of what the cameras use to make videos, I get to the end of that block section, and then I just look at it and I just say, that's sad. It's important I get this stuff out to you. I told you about the Drachk coming in, and then the Drachk over the past year especially, and last year too, about how the Drachk have come in and literally taken over. The Anunnaki no longer run this planet. This damn Federation of planets, they're dead. They're non-existent. There's little groups that say they still are. Yeah, whatever. So, anyway, what this is about is, you know, I don't run around the internet and go looking for stuff. I don't have time. I got more spheres put out. I got to get some stuff to my son out in California, Mr. Matt. He has a very tough life. Folks, we all have tough lives, and it's wrong, and it's going to get fixed. It never should have been this way. Okay, anyway, so I told you the Drachk were coming in. They actually put a weird barrier that went around the outside from where we are. It went around the outside of Mars. Now remember, all the planets, as we go through space, our whole solar system is like a big body. It's not a solid body, but it's like a big body that goes around the Milky Way galaxy. Okay, there's like a huge sun and a huge black hole that are kind of in the middle of it. There's a lot more than that, but just let's leave it there for right now, if you don't mind. So our solar system twists like this, so it's always moving. Don't forget the Drachk were the first race. The second set of lives ever had was the creation of the Drachk race. So anyway, they're extremely intelligent. They're able to do so much. I told you they made a force field. They put a device up, and they made force field. A huge machine that creates the major force field, and then there's other smaller, a little bit smaller machines that are set up. Excuse me. On other barren planets and so forth that maintain the field. And I told you that people would be getting using their cameras, and they start catching some folks trying to leave here and getting shot down. I told you that the struggle was going to be caught on camera. Then the next thing you know, UFO makes a 180-degree turn in Hungary. That's just one of them. You see, all of a sudden, out of nowhere, and NASA was asked about it. NASA said, hey, they were not on radar, nothing. As far as we know, they didn't even exist. And then all of a sudden, poof, there they are. Well, that's because they were subdimensional, and they came into this dimension. When they tried to leave subdimensionally and they couldn't, they were shot. So then they came back into this atmosphere. They came back into this actual solid third dimension, and then into the atmosphere. And then you could see the little flash, and then this person caught this at exactly the right time. And then all of a sudden you see a little white thing come off, and poof, an energy bar goes sideways. That's where one of the engine parts came off and exploded. And then it goes down like this, and then it makes like about a 120-degree turn. Meteor? No, I don't think so. I did a video on it, and that wasn't just one. There was a bunch of them. There's the issue. Siobhan told me about that. Siobhan is a real strong source out in Ireland. She's Lily inside. She told me, hey, this just happened. I think she did. I don't know. Anyway, I can't remember. But she's right there in Ireland. And so we were talking about it. But in Ireland, the Belfast police literally took their armored vehicles and they made a roadblock to keep anyone from getting past a certain point. Right behind them, you could see the news cameras where the police stopped the news cameras and said, hey, it's like military police kind of thing. That's what they have. I said, hey, yo, that's it. Stay there. And what the official report is, that a good bit beyond that road, out in the field, there's a car crash. And yeah, no, it's funny. And substantiate. What do you mean substantiate? Whatever. And it's just talking with this. A part of my own energy. They'll do stuff like that to get my attention. They can't just knock on the door because whatever. I'm a thick door. There's so many other little pieces of me that are broken off that are trying to help. And it's just, they slow me down. It's a pain in the butt. Anyway, That Jay, he's crazy. No, actually, I went up against a board of psychiatrists, and they all gave me the double thumbs up. So, clean bill of health. And then even another one. I'm proving this is all real, and that I'm substantiating what I do, my abilities and everything else, and I'm doing it for you. So you start seeing stuff and coming alive, and the regular mass populace in the physical bodies can't come down to you and say, oh, that's not right, that's no, that's bullshit. You can say, no, boom, this is just one guy that did it. And guess what? Real soon, it's going to be 20 people. There's 20 people doing it right now. As soon as I'm out of here, they're going to come alive. I mean, they're already alive in their abilities, but they're going to come out in the open. So some of them are going to be live in prime time. And a lot of them that I didn't mention are already talking with our friends and our family in space. I can't even remember all of them. And it's not because they don't matter. It's because my brain won't work like that. I'm not dumb. I'm not stupid. But my brain's not made to function like that, and I'm sick, I'm tired, and I'm anxious to get out of here. Anyway, so the official word was in Ireland is that, you know, there's a vehicle accident, and then instead of a tow truck going out in the field to get the vehicles that had an accident, or the vehicle that had an accident, the military went in there. And then they brought out a lowboy, a tractor trailer, and on it they had some kind of weird thing. It was not regular car. What was that? We don't know. It was covered with a tarp, and the military took it out. So apparently all the body shops and tow trucks were so busy in Ireland, the military was kind enough to lend a hand. That's unreal. Anyway, there's a whole bunch of that's on there. I am going to put a video together soon that's got all that stuff in there. I've already started. It's just it's hard for me to do that. The amount of stone that Deanna and I have over here, and it's Deanna. I say I have it too. It's, you know, everything belongs to Deanna. I'm setting everything up the way it needs to be, so when I finally do drop, it's ready to go. And Deanna's very important to what's coming on. She's going to be doing a lot of stuff with these ETs. I just bought another very sensitive microphone, recorder, voice activated. We're going to have them in different rooms. They come to visit us all the time, though. The Serene, the one that Braju calls shiny, says same person. So, excuse me, some people call me Jay, some people call me John, some people call me something else. It's a focal point of a thought process to know that you're talking about the same thing. That's what a name is. Anyway, so she would go, I'll call it Serene, would go down to Deanna's house when she was in Miami before she moved up here, and literally take little things, turn it over, you know, crystals. There's just no way. Deanna realized there's no way I'm doing that. I said, no, you're not. And I said, I was looking at it. I saw who did it. I said, who did it? She said her name. I said, bingo. It helps when we talk with other like-minded people to see something, and then you find out you're seeing the same thing, even if you see it a little bit different. Sometimes you get message, sometimes you see things actual as they are. I got stuff going on. My head talking. Anyway, they're having a meeting. This alliance group, they're having a meeting, man. They're all in there talking. I know so many of these people. They're trying to formulate when they're going to come in. Say hi. It's originally slated for December of 2018. They want to some militant types are more aggressive. They want to put a barrier around the planet and secure it tighter before they do. And then there's other folks that are more about working with the people that said they need our help now. And then there's that wild card in there. They're waiting for it to happen. Whoa. Man, my brain just kicked in. That calmed things down. The Drachk Assembly, Council, whatever, just spoke. And they got a big flash of gold energy inside the room. It's calming. Relax and wait. Plan for what has to happen. Don't worry about the date yet. Put together your thoughts on how things need to happen. Okay, we're worried. One of the Drachk council members, is 10 of them, and they're going to open that up eventually now into 14. 10, 12, 14. He's one of my kids. Not biologically, spirit. And he kept pushing very politely, but into my head until it got my attention. And then when I looked at him, and then I'm seeing him inside this room, and I saw ears down there. It's a whole bunch of them. They're all there. It's an alliance meeting. Anyway, that was kind of unexpected. You're much more than you could ever realize you are, but you're stuck in a body, and you can only do so much. You don't know yet how much you're doing, excuse me, or able to do. That's why it's important to try to relax. And just the more you relax, the more you float out of the body, and the more you can do. That's why those of you that are doing mantra, don't do that. Just relax and let it go. When you do mantras, no, let it go. Some of you do mantras, you say it over and over again, you make yourself kind of numb. I got a better idea. Relax. Open up, say hello, boom. That's going to be the fastest way and everything else to do it. The more you push yourself to do something, the more the conscious mind is engaged, and the harder it is, it'll take more time. Plus, you won't go as deep. You won't relax as much. Okay, anyway, here at the house, that's where I was. They're coming in all the time, working on us. I've got two things in me that they're huge and long. If you've ever seen the movie Taken, there was a teeny little silver thing that could move around and everything. I've got two of those in me, but they're huge. They go all the way through the inside of my body, intestines and everything else. Then I have something in my liver, then something attached to my heart. Deanna. She's had implants forever. Anne's got one sticking out of her back. There's so much stuff going on. Anyway, no, something's going on with Siobhan. Question. All right, anyway, this is why it's hard for me to focus on what I'm saying. I've always told you flat out, I'm just everywhere. I'm all over the place at one time, and I am. There's no whoopee-doo, there's no ooh-ah, it's just what is. You write on a chalkboard, there it is. You write on a tablet, you know, there it is. Whatever. It just is. When you can find the way to let things be what they are and don't worry about it, you're going to come alive stronger and stronger. It's a natural process. Each one feeds the other in your progress to become who you really are. This is a shot glass. No, I don't do shots over here. Sometimes I'll drink, have a talk in Skype with someone, maybe once a week, maybe once every 3 weeks. This is what you can use. A small glass like this is what you can use to hold a new product that I'm building. These spheres, I'm going back to the ET thing 1 second. These spheres these spheres do so much for you. The different frequencies in the stone, I match them to you exactly, and even more so than you understand, they're helping you, especially when you put them right where they belong, either with you during the day at a desk. Take it to work. Take them to work. Leave them there. If they're relaxing, if they're powering you up, that's not too good. Depending on what you do for work. But after a while, you just get used to it. Excuse me, but especially when you sleep, you lay them there. But what these are, itchy nose, what these are like little teeny generators. Something I'm making with dragon egg, star Essenite, selenite, and some other stuff. I'm making 2 different types. One that activates the pineal in the brain, the other one that activates the heart. Both of them activate the solar plexus. So there'll be 2 kinds. They're called star Essenite clusters. But anyway, you can. It's copper. You put the stone in, and then I'll put some ceramic around it. Okay, no, not ceramic. The clear plastic, whatever it is. I forgot. Anyway, whatever. It's that real thin plastic wrap. Ceramic. Boy, talk about a floating head. Anyway, I'm sensitive right now. I'm floating everywhere. I'm looking for stuff. I'm trying not to think about it while I'm trying to talk. I'm up to something. Like I said, all of you are so much more than what you are in your body. Anyway, you can use that to hold it. You set it down, and then you put it on top of this, and then you put your hands around it as you do the sphere. It does not have the power of the sphere. It does not have all the intricate frequencies. Okay, it's not a sphere replacement, but what it is a generator for people who don't have all that damn money. And I know, remember a few years ago, I was living off my friend Nick buying me meals, buffet meals, and then going to Costco and getting free samples. Okay, my animals came first. I fed them. So the original first being male and female back then, they needed me alive. So if I fed the animals first, they couldn't try to use that against me. Go ahead and feed yourself, but there's not enough money left to get food for the animals. No, feed the animals first, and then they were forced to make sure one way or the other I got fed. And they didn't want me out of a body. Doesn't matter. They're gone now anyway. But anyway, these are a lot less expensive. Okay, it's like half the price. But they're strong. I made one and I took it down to the studio movie grill in Duluth and sat it down and showed some people. These are regular people. This one lady is she was spiritual, but she was buried in a religion. We were sitting down there talking, and they're really cool people, wonderful, but like so many other people with a lot of love in them, they're going with what they've been told because, you know, they're not strong enough to see outside of what we're told is real by the books, and because we can't see it for ourselves, and because that's the accepted way of going, then that's where we go. It's a natural thing, and it's been made to happen like that. Everybody was forced into that. But they could feel it. And then some other folks, there's 3 ladies sat down there, and I showed them that. You know, this other guy's looking at it, he goes, that's weird, I can feel that. Yeah. It's just people look at it and say, what is that? And I show them, and they just like, sometimes they freak out. Anyway, there's some folks here. They have weird looking ships, man. It's like the front of these things come to like a pin, like a pinpoint. I mean, it's so short you could cut yourself on the edge. That's what it looks like. Could you? I don't think so, but maybe. I don't know. It's that sharp. It's like this. Weird looking stuff. It's made to go through the thickest atmospheres. I don't know what to call these guys other than like space police. Blah. Space police. Anyway, and we're gonna go here into this DVD in just a second. Okay, it's got actual footage, and I wanted from a police vehicle camera in the year 2000, I believe, with his Enaugk, however you want to pronounce their name. Enaugk, Enaugk, Enough. Oh, shit. Okay, where's the Enaugh? Yeah, whatever. I mean, see, this is what drives me nuts, trying to... there we go. You're safe. I just suck at this stuff. Anyway. There's actual footage of a ship, one of the ships coming in. But anyway, there's other folks. There's, it's like the head of this police force. They're the space police, something, I don't know what to call them. They're the primary policing force for the Alliance. They were not attached to the Federation. They did not believe in what they were doing. The Federation used military force. And these Enaugk, when they were coming and taking you and abusing you, and there's evidence of it. There's actual video footage of people being pulled up in the off the bed and everything, and being shaken to where it actually broke vertebrae. Man, this stuff that's been allowed to go on is disgusting. Anyway, that's been stopped. The Drachk and the rest of them stopped that. I told you in the videos it was going to happen, and it has. So this is proof that just, in 2000, it's not that long ago, that this was going on. It's not allowed to go on anymore except for these little, things that happen here and there, which is almost not at all. The Drachk have incredible science. They're incredibly powerful. So anyway, floating back to something else now. Deanna will be here for a while, and the future's always changing. Don't know exactly how this is gonna go, but I'm expecting her to be getting out of here. But she's gonna have people in and out, and like I said, Paul and Bijou already have folks coming in and out all the time, and there's all kinds of stuff going on. So do other family members. I start talking about one, I need to talk about the others, and I got to stop because there's so many. Anyway, they come in here to the house so much that it's time to start recording some of it. We have to learn how to use this equipment first. Like, just got a little flash out of the lights. It was female, family, little part of one of the lilies saying, "Yes, please hurry." And then later on, after I'm gone, they're going to be all over the place. So Deanna really, she and I have to work together, learn how to use all this equipment. And then when I go, she needs to put it to use, because once I'm gone, then everything picks up, takes off. When I say I'm gone, I, drop this damn body and go back where I belong, where all of us belong, on the other side. Second dimension. Our normal state's energy, spirit, sentient energy. We think we're these bodies, and these bodies are, physical bodies are vehicles that we go into to drive around, along with a co-driver. And it's amazing that, people say, I'm a human. No, a human's a vehicle you're driving. It's like driving a Chevy and rolling down the window and say, "Hi, hey, how you doing? I'm Chevrolet." No, you're not. Anyway. So, there's been horrific things done. The Federation, and wait a minute, let me finish what I was saying about the it's set up on the other side right now. Things might change, don't know. If it happens this way, good. If it doesn't, good. If it doesn't happen this way, that's because a better way is known, and that's the way it's being done, good. There's no, look at what Jay said. I give you good information, I want you to use it. But what I've always been about is helping you become who you are, so you can see things for yourself. Okay? I tell you what exists, and then as you get stronger and stronger, you'll see it, and you'll say, damn. You'll at least say 90% of that I can agree to right now. There's no, yay, Jay was right. There's, look what you can do now. That's what all this is about, man. It's about you. The coolest thing in the world is when you become yourself, more of yourself. And you never stop doing that until what? Until your body drops, you come out and you're your real self again. So once you start on this path, you become enlightened, which is merely means awakened, aware. You understand self-awareness, and then it just keeps getting more so until you finally leave. You keep developing it, you keep getting stronger because you're using it. Excuse me. So anyway, I expect her to be flying around the ship, or, you know, she might be doing something else for a while here. But she's going to be taken off, getting out of here. Not for a while, though. Not for a good few years. So, these implants I have in me is just, it changes, your scent, your smell. It's like a little thing that goes, like a silver, it's like a flexible silver long stem that goes through you, and little branches come out. It swells up, but it can leave a metallic taste in your mouth, make you salivate a little more, like right now, because it just, when I just shook like that, it started opening up, activating. They're worried I won't be getting what I need to get done. They're concerned I won't be able to finish doing what I got to do while I'm in this body. But they're kind of forgetting the fact that I can keep this body moving as long as I need to. When I say me, I'm not talking about the part of me talking to you. I'm talking about what I am outside of this body. I'll finish these videos and all of a sudden drop down sometimes not. Anyway, this stuff I'm telling you, you know, it's relaxing for me to talk to you about it, I guess, because I want you to be aware of it. But, and makes me feel like, okay, I'm doing my job. But folks, it's important for you to see something yourself, and then later you begin to understand it more. And it helps you develop your own knowledge, your own database, your own wisdom. You receive data, you start to understand it, you have your own understanding, your collection of understandings is your wisdom. This is about you not just becoming yourself, but understanding more, having more wisdom that you use however you feel fit. There's no club to join. There's just, you know, some people tried to start that with me when I first got this going. I shut them down all over the place, on video, on the internet, and they said, okay, let's just stay away from this guy. Awesome. Good thinking. I never have been and never will be about myself. Taking care of myself, eating stuff, yeah. Roof over the head, yes. But I'm here for everyone else. Some people like it, some people don't, whatever. Whatever. Doesn't matter. What matters is I keep going. I never stop. And when you get out of your body, you don't feel pain. You don't sleep. You don't eat. You know, you just keep going. Your energy. Your sentient energy, spirit. Anyway, back to the body thing. ET body thing. You're going to see ships flying around very soon. Very soon. I don't mean days. I think more like the other side. You know, there's not much of me left in this body. The strongest part of me is stuck in here. It's just a little piece of it, though. But they're discussing when they want to come in en masse, okay? And it looks like right now it's December 2018. Who knows? And then how the other side works with me, manipulating what I got to do to where I can get out of here. That affects how that happens. That's why I want to tell you things. All I can tell you is what's set up for the future right now. And when you give dates for the future, you're walking on thin ice. Especially now, because what's on the other side running your lives is different people doing different things, and it's not coordinated. and the other side runs this one. So frustrating. Excuse me. Anyway, oh yeah, I know, here it goes, everything popping in and out. Sometimes I forget to say something, and when I am outside, goes in my head, you've got to mention this. Sometimes they don't bring it back in my head, and I just forget to say it. On these little asteroidite clusters I'm building, that copper foil, it's a 1,000th of an inch, okay? It's thin. That can cut you. I've never cut myself with this stuff, and I've made, I don't know how many spheres. A lot more than 100. But can it? Yes. Don't play with it like that. You just wrap it around, you'll be fine. Don't try to force a paper cut, okay? 1,000th of an inch is thin, and it is metal. So, you know, you need to, this is not a toy. Be responsible. Children must use with adult supervision. Dun, dun, dun. All right, now back to what we're doing. I've got, let me see if this is in here. Okay. I don't have her full name. There it is. Okay, this video right here. I'm getting hammered. My brain. I'm inside my brain working on it right now. That's funny. Anyway, your brain. The more you grow, your brain, you get stronger. Like you see me pop my ears. That's my brain flexing. It's like a muscle inside my body. Yours is the same thing. Okay, we all have the same basics. The more you awaken and use your body, the more your brain grows, and your skull will grow to match it. That's why so many people's heads grow when I crank them up. So anyway, this, if you're waking up, you want to know about it, or you want to know about ETs, get this movie. If you want to know more about it, the truth, get this movie. The Fourth Kind. Yeah, that's funny. A remarkable movie that boggles the mind. This is Close Encounters of the Fourth Kind. If you like him, Larry King said that. He's not a bad person. He's just a schmuck, in my opinion. What it says here, let me just read this real quick. In remote Alaska, citizens have been mysteriously vanishing since the 1960s. Despite multiple FBI investigations, the truth behind the phenomenon had never been discovered until now. While videotaping therapy sessions with traumatized patients, psychologist Dr. Abigail Tyler, her husband, is the one who really started this, and he wound up shooting himself in the head, committing suicide. Why? He was made to by one of these Enaugk in a trip chair on a ship not far away from the house. Dr. Abigail Tyler is played by Mila Jovovich. Unwittingly exposes terrifying revelations of multiple victims whose claims of being visited by alien figures all share disturbingly identical details. This shows actual footage of what happened. And before the video goes out, you can literally see the body being elevated. Now people start saying, "Oh, The Exorcist," or you know, there's sheets under there. It was done by remote control. That folks, what you're looking at when you see this, the stronger you get, the more you grow, you're gonna find out. You'll know for yourself what I'm about to tell you is true. This is real video footage. Okay. There's a lot of stuff that's real video footage that people. There was one on in Germany when a semi-truck was literally, you could see a beam hit it, and the back of the truck is picked up, and it's going like this, the back of the truck is picked up and turned around sideways and then rolls over. That was staged. Whatever. There's all kinds of, there's so many people that are stuck. Usually there's more of them that are solar plexus because it's harder for them to see things. They have to relax, and then they can learn how to see with high definition, with higher definition than pineal-based people can be. Okay, but they have to apply themselves. They can't be stuck in, I believe in the good book of Jesus Christ, or God, or the book, the word from Almighty God. Yeah, okay. The all-loving, all-forgiving, great super being that made hell to punish us forever because it's mad at us, but yet it's all-forgiving and loves us. So it loves to punish us? Wait, bow, everybody bow, everybody bow. Praise God, praise God. Why? If something was that cool, that deserved any kind of praise from you, number one, it wouldn't want it because it would consider you equal and it cares about you. And number two, it wouldn't allow it because that would put you on a growth path that is not behooving to who you are. What's been controlling us all our lives has been destroyed. It was a sad moment, necessary. We move forward now. Okay, on this video, you can see the body get raised up, and at some points the whole body itself gets twisted, and the lady's mouth opens up, and it gets all whacked out. The technology that's involved in the different UFOs, the ET, spacecraft, starcraft, whatever, they travel through the stars. Anti-gravitation. We have it now in our ships. Okay, those triangular ships, they call them tier 3s and 4s and whatever, blah blah blah. I'm not up on the latest, and I don't have time for that. Like I said, I don't live on the internet. Every once in a while I'm told to go there, I turn it on, there's something for me, I get it, and I keep going. Excuse me. So, that video, the actual footage off of a traffic cam in Germany at night of a trail of a beam coming from a ship. It was one of those TR-3-4s in the middle of the thing. You see the big thing? That's where the beam came from. It's like a big light. It's got a big circle in the middle of it. Yeah, that's where it's like a tractor beam is what it is. It's anti-gravity, but it also has the ability to wrap a field around something. So anyway, excuse me. So anyway, that's on the video. I explain everything that happened, and I've used it before. I have a video where I did that, and I was trying to work with people to help you see things for yourself. I don't state things factual like this A, B, C, 1, 7, 3. I just tell you we talk. I talk, but it's kind of like, well, I am with you at the same time. Okay, can't say that. Excuse me. Anyway, in this movie, when everyone's lifted off, and then you can actually hear someone talking through them, the same way anti-gravity type, science that they use, which to them is like, for us, it's like using a spoon to eat. That's how simple it is with them. Okay, they can raise you, but then it's technology that they can easily elevate you, lock onto you, and elevate you, but also put more energy into you. And when they do that, it's so forceful, it can start to pull you apart. You're going to see one man jump up, and his body start shaking. His nervous system was reacting to what was done with it through the pressure of energy. And it literally, I think, broke 2-3 of his vertebrae in his back, in his neck. So anyway, and that killed him. You're going to see actual footage of that. And then you see actual footage when this thing was talking through her. And these are the ancient Sumerians, the original Sumerians. They were gods. No, they weren't. They were assholes. And they literally, it's like getting a timeshare. They had a timeshare for Alaska to go there and literally do what they wanted for the most part. And this was going on. It started in the 60s, then went on to 2000. They played a big part in this federation that's now been just disbanded, torn apart. And the Alliance is what took over. And the Drachk and the Antid stand behind the Alliance. They're the foundation of it, actually. Eventually, Ta'ir will play a bigger part in what's going on, but he won't be doing it through Corey Good. That's kind of falling by the wayside. Ta'ir feels sad that things haven't gone better than what they are, and he's got a little hope it might get better. Now, as long as he's around David Wilcock, Mr. Look at me, I'm David Wilcock, look, whatever. David, I love you, man. I just wish you weren't such an attention glory hound kind of thing. Maybe you can get some help letting that go soon so you can get more done. And that's... Anyway, whatever. So anyway, back to these Enaugk. It's hard to, like I already said, it's hard to pronounce their names because they give us their names and it's through their vocal cords and the way they talk, words or sounds that they use for communication. But they show you where when these beings talk to them, through these two people, when they elevate them up in the air and they start talking to them, they call themselves gods and everything else. We're the God, you know, we made creation, we're this, you know, bullshit. What you see is real. You don't have to believe it. You don't have to believe me. I tell everyone to look at everything I say as well as everyone else. Just make up your own mind. Try to trust your gut. How's your heart feel about it? What you see with your head? Just keep going forward. Because as long as you're using your abilities, you're going to tap into what simply is. The great truth. It's just what is. What's real is you, the full you, as much as you can be while you're in a body. Anyway, so with these, when this happens, also at one point, you know, this Dr. Abigail Tyler, Dr. Abigail Tyler, and her husband, who had shot himself, he was made to do it. So, he was investigating, bringing all of this out in the open. And then they go inside, they can get in a trip chair, go inside your brain and run you to a certain point. These folks, these Enaugk, they're strong, powerful. They're an old race. They're aggressive. The majority of stuff that was put inside their bodies was 27-30%, 27-30 or 37% lower frequencies, more of what we call negative people. And they didn't care about you. They literally thought of you the way most humans think about animals. They're there to slaughter and do whatever they want with. It's wrong for us to do that with animals. However, creation was made to where animals have to attack themselves, eat each other. I mean, this creation was made abusive. That's literally already in the process of changing. The biggest part of it was done. Now it's time to fix the rest of it. And it was done on the other side. I mean, you know, the other side is what I'm talking about. This side will be fixed. But what runs this side has to be fixed. If you want to keep a train going, what's the first thing? The first thing you got to take care of? The engine. So think about the beings in a. Think about what was the beings that were running in control of the second dimension and also controlling this. They were the engine. That engine is destroyed, disconnected, deleted. Now you have something new getting ready to hook up. Anyway, so back to this video. That tractor beam that they use to raise them up in the air, that it's anti-gravity, but it's like a tractor beam too. It's so strong when they talk through it, through the body, that it literally stopped pulling it apart. That's how it broke the vertebrae and stuff. Sad. Everything that's been allowed to happen to everyone. And these people are freaking out all over the place. Folks, if you're in ETs, if you want to understand what's been going on, if you want some help relating to some of the things I've been telling you for a long time, take a look at the movie. I just got it, I don't know, 3 days ago. There's another one, I can't remember what the name is. I ordered it, it'll come in a few days. The fourth kind, what does the fourth kind mean? The fourth kind of ET, of meeting with the ETs. The first kind, and this is the government, U.S. government way of looking at it. The first kind is seeing a UFO. The second kind of contact is when you see the evidence of a UFO. You see a UFO come down, then you see the evidence of it, or maybe even crop circles. The third kind is when you actually meet them in person, when you get to see them. And the fourth kind is when they abduct you and do horrific things to you. The fourth kind can also be when, and this will change soon, is when you're literally invited to be in their ship and everything else. So, and strong metaphysical energy affects ships, starships, those things we don't understand that fly throughout the galaxies, throughout the universe. Strong metaphysical energy affects them real bad. Can shut down everything on them, life support and everything else. They have dampeners in them. And they also have physical dampeners they can put on you when they take you on craft. Poor Dan has woken up a few times with some bruises where these dampeners hit her. I did too. And sometimes some of the folks are a little bit rough. Gets me pissed. I see that and I act accordingly. And we'll leave that there. For those of you that really feel that what I'm telling you now is self-serving, look at what I've been doing with my energy while I was in a body. Look at a quantitative electroencephalogram, and after I'm gone, you'll get the proof from the DNA results of me going into people to change their DNA and then their children. Anyway, so this movie, folks, it's real. It's real. And also, she did, she's in a wheelchair. She's just, you know, she was in a, you'll see at the end of the movie, I think the movie was made in 2009 or something. She was in a wheelchair. She couldn't hardly get around. They abducted her daughter. She never, of course, never got her daughter back. That's these Sumerians. They called themselves gods. So that's what the Federation allowed them to do, and because they were one of the major players, there's honestly 4, maybe 5, depending on how you want to look at it, but there were 4 major groups of beings that were the strongest, that were the strongest members of this Federation. The Drachk and Antids were never one of those. That they were involved in it, but they were not, you know, manipulating anything. They stayed away. And these Enaugk, and that's not to be compared to Enoch. Enoch was somebody totally other than what these stupid religious texts try to make him out to be. He used to spend a lot of time on ships. Anyway, the Drachk haven't come here. They've stopped that from happening, except for isolated, incidents. And this like space police force, I don't know what you want to call them, but they're a policing force. They're used by many different galaxies. Galaxies, not planets, galaxies. And they're here. And what it just pulled up is their head. You know, it's the biggest ship they have. Strongest ship they have, and their leaders. They're at the Alliance. Sitting back, listening, and also serving. They have little ships all over the place, guarding everything. Drachk already there, but it doesn't matter. They're there too. Creation itself, folks, is finally turning into family. On the other side, second dimension, over here in the physical or third dimension, so that's what's going on. The Drachk have brought this kind of abuse here. Does Enaugk, whatever, the Drachk have brought them down to almost nothing. I mean, to where it's like almost impossible to happen. And then the Antids are very busy involved in doing things. They're called Antids. They kind of look more like a praying mantis, but their arms are not. Totally different. And they said Antids. That was said of them a long time ago. And that's why the Hopi relate to them in that same way. They were helping Captain Byrd, BYRD, when he thought he was seeing the inner earth. They're very incredibly powerful telepaths. And there's usually about 3 of them that were with them all the time. This wonderful village he thought he saw. No, he did see some inner workings. They say cities. What's a city? There's towns or cities here in the U.S. that have, what, 5 people? Excuse me, there's caverns and stuff, and you know, under the ground where they go in deep. That's where the people that they wanted, that were being saved, when each time the earth went through a major change. 4 times. First was fire and volcanoes and stuff, you know, that kind of thing. Second was the same. Third was ice. Fourth was water. The 4th one happened at the beginning of the 5th age, so to speak. It's funny how that happens, and it's over a long period of time. Blah. The caustic events that happened on the planet, they blend in between 2 different ages. It's not like these things happen in a day. Anyway, that's Gaia cleaning herself, and also she evolves too. But these 4 were done on purpose. Most always getting rid of the reptiles, the actual dinosaur reptile things. There's caves now out in the West, U.S., as well as other places, where they're actually finding ancient pictorial graphs or something, pictures of humans that were made literally throwing spears at dinosaurs. That's from the beginning of the 5th age. So, anyway, the Drachk have come here and taken over. When I said they did, that's when they got here, and I told you you're gonna see the stuff trying to leave, and people gonna get it with their cameras, checking it out, seeing them blow up, and yes, you've had all that proof, but some people won't believe that aliens, that ETs, extraterrestrials, folks that are alien to us, to our life here, which is not a good word, but whatever. It's understanding the meaning behind it. That you're going to see a bunch of them coming in, but some people, if we had a visitor from another planet and they were here, they crash landed, and they actually went up and felt the body, they would say, you know what? Some people would actually say, you know what? This is so lifelike. It's too bad they don't exist. Otherwise, I'd believe it. They can hold it in their hands and not believe. That's the way some people are. Whatever. That's their problem, not yours. Don't worry about it. Anyway, check it out, folks. That was up to about the year 2000. It was going heavy. These folks, these Enaugk, were also aware that change was coming. But they called themselves gods. We are your gods. You shall do as we want. We own you. You are our cattle. And this thing with animals, the abuse that they've gone through, almost all animal essence is out of them. Human spirit is human and fae, souls and essence are being put inside there when they need to have just one life to understand. And some people want to have, when they're out of body, excuse me, they actually want to have a life like that so they can understand more. That's why we do that. We've all had lives in the other gender, body, and everything else. There's so much stuff coming, folks. Anyway, that's enough. Let's get off this thing, but that's good information for you. Okay? Folks, love you, man. What you see in that video, that's not allowed to happen anymore. There are laws against that. What's the punishment? Instant death. Instantaneous death. A ship doing that, probably going to be taken out immediately, disintegrated. So, things have got real serious. And you know how you get rid of war and pestilence? What we call the pestilence to everyone else? By killing those who engage in it. Wipes it right out. Change is coming. It's going to be as smooth as possible, but it's strong. Karma is back. Karma's a bitch. Good. If there's a need for it, it needs to be strong, hard, and immediate. Folks, love you, man. Have a good. Well, just to be like myself, forgot some. This Dr. Abigail Tyler. When you first look at her face, you can see how she's literally dying. Okay. Her nervous system, her immune system, everything's being shut down. There's one part of the movie where she recalls having had something drilled in her back. She did. They put something in her spine. It's a slow death. It's their way of abusing her. It was their way of abusing her. When you're not in a body, the lives of people in bodies, except for those that are really close to you, mean quite as much as they do when you're in a body. Because once that, when you're in a physical body, you have to receive all this input all the time. Once that's taken away, it's you don't feel the same way about it. Not that you don't, not that you're not against it and everything, but it, you know, it's not as harsh. All this stuff that was done to her, worse has been done to others. But she got hit hard. Why? Because she was exposing them for who they are. Inside the video, this one gentleman that comes in, he's been studying the Sumerian culture that's been around for how many that was around thousands of years ago. So I'm seeing in my head they were around about 8,000 years ago, but about 3,000 years ago there's a lot of information that started being compiled about them. Anyway, when you see her, the first thing you think is that this poor woman is a nut. No. When you see the footage in the video and look at her, and then you see how she looks now, you can tell it's her, but you can also tell how she's been falling apart. I feel for her pain, what she's gone through, what she went through, excuse me. Anyway, being alive and having experienced that is hell. Anyway, I want to put this, put that information in there. She's in a wheelchair. She's being crippled. Her spine has been poisoned with what was put in there. Plus, when she was elevated, she was rattled so hard that tore up her spine too. So she has physical damage, but she has a device in her back. A device was installed in her back, and that was tearing her apart too. So, anyway, folks, look, love y'all, man. Have a good. If you got the time and you're interested in this, it is not a waste of money at all. What you're looking at, not the movie, but the pieces, the actual live video from when it happened in 2000, around then, that's real. That's actual. In that perfectly round shaped saucer that comes into the video from the police cam, it's only a shadow and outline. That's real. Got an attitude towards those folks. Anyway, love you. Have a good one.